Hello again. Now then, we've talked about taxation, and you've accepted the fact that we will be putting taxation up. Now it may well be that we may not actually touch direct taxation, but we may put VAT up, which is a European tax, by the way, to 30 pence in the pound. Because VAT was only introduced so that it could pay for us being in Europe, and that was the idea behind it. I'm hoping that Theresa May will see the sense and reduce the amount of VAT, because we're not having to pay Europe. But whether or not that will be the case, who knows. Anyway, getting back onto the National Health Service and all this money that we've been promised that will go into National Health Service when the referendum was going on. Bullshit. That's all I've got to say. It's going to be bullshit. That's going to go towards helping us cut our taxes, because we need to be paid more in our pay packets, us rich people. Yeah, I've told you that twice. I think I keep telling it you. And also, don't forget, we've got this railway to build that only us rich people will be able to afford to go on, because the fares will be so great, nobody else will be able to afford them. So we're building a nice railway line just for us, which is great. Anyway, moving on, forgetting about the S52 or whatever it's called. I don't know, whatever it's called. Anyway, let's go back to the NHS, because the NHS is very, very dear to our hearts, and it shouldn't be. Because, you know, why on earth would we want to have a National Health Service that costs us billions and billions of pounds just to save people that get hurt in accidents and things like that? You know, why on earth would we want to do that? And spending our money on it, you know, they get on their bikes or in their cars and they get injured, so why on earth would we want to put them right? Because they've actually asked for what they've got by driving a vehicle or riding on a vehicle. And, you know, everybody knows the chance you take when you go out on the road. So why on earth do we actually fix them? That's, you know, that's something I just can't get my head around, really. People go and hurt themselves, and yet they're being... Now, diseases, but maybe that's another matter. But if we get rid of all the doctors and all the nurses, well, a lot of the doctors, a lot of the nurses, and then totally privatise the National Health Service, what an amazing thing that would be. That we wouldn't have to give free health cover to any of the children or any of the children's children in the future. That would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Because why should we give free health cover? You know, just because people need to have health cover. What we could do, we could have insurance. Not a national insurance like we have at the moment, but an individual insurance. So if you've got 16 kids, you would have to pay 16 times the amount of insurance, because every single one of them might need health cover. Now, if you've got one child and you've been sensible with your dangly-endy thingy and the other bit, then of course you could end up paying a lot less. In fact, you would pay a lot less. And us rich people, we wouldn't need the health cover anyway, because we could afford to pay for it directly out of our bank account, really. Anyway, that's basically that. So what we could do then, we could get rid of the National Health Service altogether, which would mean that old Hunty person, you know, Jeremy Hunt, he would actually get that bugbear out of his side all the time. He's got a knife in his side all the time, and it's called the NHS, and he needs to get rid of it, because, you know, we can't continue. We really can't continue to give people health care. You know, our children and our children's children and our children's children, they're going to suffer exactly the same way as they have with housing, basically. You know, 40 years ago we sold off all the housing, made people go out to work, women went into the workplace. That meant there was 2 wage packets going into each house, so people could pay more for housing. So therefore house prices rose, and this is why we're in the situation we are today with housing. And it's a good thing. We shouldn't let poor people have housing. Why on earth would they want to have a house? They wouldn't know what to do with it. Anyway, getting back to the NHS. Now, if you really, really believe that the NHS is worth saving, then you're voting for the wrong party. Because we want to get rid of the bloody thing, because it wasn't our idea in the first place. And I'll be quite honest with you, the sooner we get rid of it, the better. You know, this is why we've been privatising it over the last 5 or 6 years, because we just do. And now my dog's telling me that it's very good, it's a good idea. So anyway, I'm going to get going. You're Conservative, are you? Are you a Conservative? Agreeing? Yeah, definitely not in the head. Anyway, we must think about healthcare in a different way, because, you know, free healthcare for people, you know, it works, and I can afford anything, so I don't give a crap about everybody else. Personally, you know, we could have 3 tiers of healthcare. We could have the rich that could afford anything. We could have the people in the middle that can afford most things, but not everything, because insurance will run out. And then you can have the poorest, which can afford nothing. What a shame. Anyway, there you go then, that's the healthcare. So, if you want to keep your National Health Service, in fact, you don't want to keep your National Health Service. If you don't want to keep your National Health Service, just get down there and vote for the Conservatives and we'll get rid of it for you. We certainly will. Thank you very much. Bye bye.